Welcome to Popcorn Planet in Arizona. I am here live in my parents' garage. This is my mom's gourd studio. We're going to introduce her later in the show. Hopefully my dad comes in too. We will meet them later, probably in the members-only portion of this show on the replay. Unless you caught us live, we're live every weekday at around, what time? 12 o'clock. Andy time, 12:30 sometimes. It's hard. I got to set all this up, and I'm so glad I was able to set up this using my Johnny's laptop here, but I clearly got to upgrade to something a little bit more of a beast. But we're just enough to hopefully get this through. So if I apologize in advance if it's a little bit laggy or unlike what we typically do, I just didn't want to give you nothing today. So we're here reacting to a couple news stories that I wanted to bring to you, as well as just hanging with you guys live. And here we are with the main sort of event that I want to get to first, which is Travis Scott. Travis Scott was defending Travis Scott. Now, we've been very negative on Travis. I got a lot of my own feelings on Travis, as I've told you all guys. But like I said, we like to cover all bases here on Popcorn Planet. So he's coming to Travis's defense. We also have some interactions that seemingly show Travis's response in a way, but I'm going to chime in on that. I saw another video. It was like, Travis breaks his silence. Sort of, but I can tell that the Kardashian Jenners are starting to create a plan of defense for Travis Scott, and we're going to get to all that as well. But first, let's go through this reaction from Chuck D. Now, Chuck D, again, from Public Enemy, released a lengthy open letter about the disastrous event that occurred November 5th. Rather than just read there, let's go straight to it's right here. So here's Chuck D responding. Okay, I'm going to read this for you. I cannot believe we're at the point where I got to say this out loud. Travis Scott is a performer, an act, not a concert promoter. He doesn't run the sound or venues, doesn't build stages or coordinate logistics. He's not an expert in crowd control or security or emergency medical services. But he does trust Live Nation and all the other concert promoters who are supposed to do all of this. And yet here we are, 10 broken families. The world is mourning. I'm tired of these corporations shucking their most crucial responsibility. These folks simply say rest in peace and move on. This negligence can't continue. Folks want answers. I'm not buying the young black man did it. He's being blamed for a crime while the old white men running the corpse that Travis and his fans trusted with their lives stay quiet in the shadow, counting their money and watching their stock prices go up and up. The excuse of Scott's irresponsible actions don't wash. If his act had a history of that behavior, why promote him to bigger venues? Why partner with him in the first place and let him headline a bigger audience? Live Nation controlled this show. They control almost all of the concert venues. Artists ain't speaking out because the same cats are already bought by these corporations. No one can say a word against them unless they want to be blacklisted and hurt their careers. So I'm calling out Michael Rapinoe's entire team at Live Nation and a consortium of all the major concert promoters out there to do the right thing, to step up and step out of the shadows, to fix these situations and save lives, to stop letting one young black man take the blame, the hate, the fall. We don't know everything that happened or exactly what failed, but concert promoters have all the power to make the changes to keep everyone safe and alive. Live Nation, your stock is up. The white corporate music biz keeps cashing in on black pain, trauma, and death. This has to stop yesterday. You're part of the problem. Grow the F up, fix this, and let us all live in peace. Now, big reaction there. And I got to say, I don't disagree with a lot of what he's saying there. There's a lot of what he's saying here that is on point. Because the reality of all of this is I've not once not blamed Live Nation. Live Nation is equally responsible. However, why is this suddenly becoming a race thing? Travis Scott has a history, Chuck D, of inciting violence at his shows. So when you start twisting this into a race thing, which, look, I get it. I'm a white guy saying this. I'm not allowed to say this. But I'm going to say it. I know racism exists. I get it. We're going through so many important historical movements that are important that we need to be all learning by. And I agree it happens a lot. Like every day it's happening. I can't even imagine what's happening to most people as someone who's not sort of experiencing racism on the daily. I do believe systematic racism is a thing. I believe it. I wholeheartedly believe it. In this situation, though, I'm confused what that has to do with this. He's a very successful man, very successful artist. And he has been inciting this problem for a long time. So when I see Chuck D going off on a lot of stuff that I got to support, and I got to applaud him on all the Live Nation finger pointing because he's spot on there. They are always silent. They are always in the shadows. But when he turned it about race, he lost me. He lost me because he's acting emotionally, and this has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with it, Chuck. And that's my problem. It's like you're ignoring all that Travis did. I want the blood. I want the rage. We want the bodies. Dude, I don't care the color, whoever is doing that as an artist. I don't care who's doing it. Anybody who's doing that is part of the problem. And you don't get to sort of incite this young audience who is so lost. They are just so desperate for attention, cred, social media points. And it's like they're all there to rally against the system. I get it. Like, I get it. The world is mourning. And there's so many. I don't know. I just lost the page. There are so many people. Sorry if I'm lagging here as I load things. Things slow down. There are so many people just disenfranchised with government and everything that they feel lost. They feel out of the loop, and they feel taken advantage of, and they don't know what to do with their lives. This is the audience at a Travis Scott show, and he's rallying them up to just unleash. And in certain ways, mosh pits, getting this aggression out in a show, that's been historically something that we've always done, right? But you'll go back, if you go back and watch famous musicians, heavy metal acts, etc., they will stop a show if they see a mosh pit getting out of hand. I have seen clips where the singer's like, what do we do when someone falls? We stop and get them back up. Like, that's inciting, decent respect, empathy, compassion, qualities that I just don't see from a Travis Scott show or as a performer in general. There are too many instances where this man has stopped shows because someone stole his shoe. We've seen instances where and I posted over the weekend, we've seen instances where this man has nothing to do with his color. The color, I don't know why it's starting to turn into a color debate. This man, this very, very popular, rich, talented man is out there stopping shows because there's a nerdy cameraman who's bothering his aesthetic, who he's then going to be rude to and scream at. Like, this isn't cool. This isn't the type of person that we should be supporting. And so everyone is responsible. And just because I'm picking on Travis Scott, it's because he's more and more is pointing out that he's responsible, and people like Chuck and others don't want him to be. They want him to get away with it. And for Chuck D to try and play this whole thing of the corporation and who owns what, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about how Travis Scott got famous, Chuck. Why is Travis Scott famous? Because the same machine lifted him up. They chose him, and they've been promoting him, and they've been the puppeteers behind it all, pulling his strings. And the reality is, it's all connected. Everybody, anybody who's famous, social media, whatever, they're all just phonies at this point. His managers have come forward. Travis Scott's old managers have come forward and be like, yeah, we totally tricked SoundCloud. We made dummy accounts to lift up his points so he would be able to get a record deal. And then Live Nation probably owns stock in some of it. Hell, if you really want to go through all the who's connected, the Lou Taylors of the world, who have been ones who kept Britney under, right? The Lou Taylors of the world are in with Travis Scott, too, who then are also connected to Live Nation. All the management, everybody's intertwined and connected. Everybody is. So they want Travis Scott to not get it. They want him to get away with it because there's a lot of money still in Travis Scott as a performer. Now, all that said, Live Nation, 100 billion% responsible. I would say more responsible than Travis Scott. If I haven't been clear on that before, I want to make sure I'm extra clear now. Live Nation is even more responsible than Travis because Live Nation shouldn't have allowed Travis to do what he did, in my opinion. Travis has been inciting this, and they haven't been paying attention. So to me, when Chuck says, oh, yeah, why'd you let him do it? Because they're not paying attention. And you're right. They're equally to blame. Equally to blame. But to try and say that Travis bears no responsibility for egging his audience on, saying he has no responsibility for crowd control, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. We have countless examples of true artists who will do anything they can to stop a show to ensure that their crowd is safe. We have proof of Travis seeing people in stretchers and still doing his... I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Now, is he the most responsible? Well, look, that's what the investigation's for. But is he responsible? Yes. Is Live Nation? Yes. Are all the other concert promoters and security firms that weren't paying, and the Houston police, they're all responsible, Chuck D. No one's pointing out just Travis Scott and saying all the blame should go to him and who on earth is out there saying that? Please, if someone, Chuck, anybody, I'd like to find the news outlet that you're referring to. Who the hell is saying that? No one's saying that. So while I applaud a lot of what he's saying here about the business, the music industry, calling out Live Nation, facts, applause, making it about this young black man, to me, things like that are actually making racism worse because we're focusing on issues that aren't actually racist. Everything's racist. And then we can't actually pinpoint and learn and become better people and learn the problems. Like, this has nothing to do with him being black. They've been profiting off him forever, and they're trying to let him get away with it. But the public's is being wiser. And so I don't understand what he's seeing out of this or thinking that we're not seeing. But the fact that he's turning this into a race war, sorry, I guess I froze. I don't know where I put off, but the reality is, sorry, I know it's a little laggy. I'm trying to, hopefully the stream will work. I don't know why Chuck D's making this a race thing. This has nothing to do with that. There's a lot of racism in this country. I firmly believe it. But when people like Chuck D come out and make this be the poster child of racism, that we're keeping a young black man down, to me that's going backwards and not helping the actual racism that exists in our society. It has nothing to do with race. They're profiting off of him. White people have been profiting off of Travis Scott and Kardashians for a long time. This is beyond just that. And no one's only pointing the finger at Travis. We're pointing the finger at everybody. So that's what frustrates me in this. And we're seeing this happen a lot. As someone who really is, I am really, truly more progressive than most people think I am. Then that may offend you. Well, then get out of here. But I am. Just because I humor a lot of conservatives and I like to be respectful of people with different beliefs, my beliefs are what they are. And I'm so sick of people generalizing, and I'm so sick of this because it's like, yeah, I believe in racism. Totally. There's a lot of people who don't. There are people who will say there's no systematic racism in this country. And I think that's ridiculous. I believe there is. But this is not an example of it. This is not an example of it. And so when this gets out of hand, Chuck's making that be the excuse for why we should give Travis a pass. Dude, no. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. That's frustrating. So I applaud someone out there trying to defend him and give him sort of reasons. But this whole thing of like, he's not the concert promoter. He doesn't run sound or venues or festivals or the staff. Okay, true. He doesn't build stages. True. He doesn't coordinate logistics. True. He's not an expert in crowd control or security or emergency medical services. Sure. But he's up there keeping an eye on it all. He's got a team that can be a bug in his ear. He's got multiple methods as the performer on that stage to shut a show down. And when I say shut a show down, I mean pause the show to make sure his audience is okay. Who were those two dudes coming up to talk to him, Chuck, before he said, no, get out of here? Please clarify. What were those two dudes coming in to interrupt the show about that Travis said, no, I don't want to hear it? What was that? Was that racism too? Because why didn't Travis hear that? Two guys coming up of his team trying to talk to him at a show. And Travis is above that? Again, so many examples why this man's responsible. Along with Live Nation and everybody else. Of course they're responsible. Who on earth thinks Live Nation's not responsible? This is spin, and this is the defense we're starting to see. And it's not the only defense we're starting to see. You know what else we're starting to see? You guys are seeing it. You guys are seeing it out there. Hold on, sorry, everything's so slow. You guys, I know, are seeing this story out there. But what are the Kardashians doing for distraction mode? What do you think they're doing in distraction mode? Who is Kim Kardashian suddenly dating? You're telling me this is just completely random. You're telling me Pete Davidson suddenly dating Kim Kardashian isn't part of Travis Scott's defense plan. Come on. Of course Kim's doing this now. Why is Kim out there wearing Yeezys, holding hands with Pete Davidson right now? Damage control. She knows exactly what she's doing. She chose to wear Yeezys on a date with Pete Davidson. And you're telling me it's not connected. There's not a defense out there currently happening to save Travis. To deflect, distract, move on. They're doing everything in their power now. Hold his hand, Kim. You lift up that Pete right now. We need the distraction. Do it. That Kris Jenner calling up Kim. She knows what she's doing. Go date Pete Davidson. That's going to get all the tabloids talking, getting distracted, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to talk about this story. I don't give a crap about this story. I don't care who's dating who, Pete Davidson, whatever. This is all stupid, mindless distraction from the bigger story. And if you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you because you're being blind to it. Because it's all over. It was all over this weekend. So everyone's talking about this. Oh my God, he's wearing Yeezys. I can't believe it. Murdered. Blah. She just totally showed Kanye. Blah 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 blah. That's the conversation right now online. To all distract from the obvious stuff, which is way worse. Because Kylie's got to sell she's got to sell makeup this Christmas, guys. She's got to sell makeup. And she's been delaying her makeup. What is she going to do? Is she allowed to sell makeup right now? And that's another thing that I just saw right now. So there's this YouTube. Sorry, everything's slow. I got to get a faster processor as I do all this. While I'm streaming, it's hard to do this. But Alicia found this out. This is a YouTuber. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Can you hear the No, you can't. Hold on.
Flame, okay? Well, now I screenshot this Friday at 7:33 a.m. I can't go to sleep to save my life. Okay, late at night. I can't get a like on this video to save my life. I can't.
Okay, blah, 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 blah.
Girl, we missed the mark, girl. Investigation. It has now been updated. Yes, it has. It has been updated. And we have the receipts. We have the photo just in case he changed it or anything else.
So, hold on, I'm going to mute my audio. Hopefully you heard that. So this is Rich Lux. Rich Lux has the receipts to prove that this is in fact true. Is why the only reason I'm playing this so you can tell, like, someone, now I don't know if this is Travis. To be fair. But someone on Travis's team decided to change his his Instagram bio. This happened within hours ago. To now promote his new song Escape Plan. This hasn't been there throughout this whole tragedy. Now, someone, I don't believe Travis is adjusting his Instagram bio. Who knows? Maybe he is. I don't know. Someone thought, let's make sure we are selling albums right now while people are still looking for Travis to make statements or whatever else they're looking for. So, hopefully you heard a little bit of that. I know you couldn't hear the audio. I'll have to figure that out as we move forward. But the reality is that clip, the Rich Lux, the only reason I played that clip is because he had the receipts. He took screen caps before and he took screen caps after. And the reality is that Travis has now since posted a link to his song, Escape Plan. If you click on that link now, you can go buy it. And when you go look at the video and the lyrics to this song, 12-figure estate plan, that was the escape plan, but hate investigating, that S was a waste man. Stop by facing this S because I'm just starting racing, but wait, open the gates, that S is just start parading. Look, it's all about him being rich, keeping that as his backup plan. It's just a weird song to be promoting right now. Even though I know he set that out before all this happened, the timing of this is just sus, if I've ever seen it. It's weird. So, and people saying, "Oh, Pete, the thing was at before." No, Pete and Kim were not holding hands before Astroworld. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat. That is a story that happened this weekend. They have took it to the next level, which they chose to do at this time. Why? So it's all weird, man. It is all weird. And so while I appreciate people out there, Chuck being a friend of his, I guess, I appreciate when friends are loyal and stick to it and try to defend their friends. That's what friends do. And I don't know if they're friends, but good on Chuck D for coming out there and giving us another side of things. Although I got to disagree with him. I don't know why this has become a race debate. I think that's misguided. There's a lot of stuff that is race guided, and I don't get this one. But Chuck D, one of the first people out there defending Travis Scott pretty vocally, and has some points, especially the stuff against Live Nation. So there you go. I want to give you that update on Astroworld. That's the latest for sharing to me over the weekend, which I got to give you a hot take on, was this one. It's part 2 of our stories. And then I'll go through your comments. Sorry, it's so hard. It's lagging a lot, so apologies. As I get through all this, hopefully this is working. Apologies if it's not. As I get through all this, I want to play this update on Britney Spears. because I got thoughts on this one, fam. I got some serious thoughts. Stu, what's up, Stu? You'd think Travis will be remembered most for this tragedy and being. You think Travis will be remembered most for this tragedy and being with Kylie? This tragedy is definitely gonna be something he's remembered by. Absolutely. I hope this tragedy, if it does anything, is to help change the safety protocols of these concerts so this doesn't happen again. That's what I hope. If Astroworld's remembered in any way, it's that, to make sure that this doesn't work again. But I want to get to point 2. Thank you, Stu, for the comment and for being a member. Britney Spears called out Christina Aguilera for refusing to speak about her conservatorship. Now, I haven't really paid attention to too much of the reaction to this, but I got to keep it 100 here, okay? Now, Britney, let me go to my close-up. Britney, I love you. I love you, Britney. I got your back. I support you 100%. You've been a little out of the loop, and I don't know how much you've been paying attention. I don't think Christina's the enemy. Watching the full clip, knowing what Christina has said in the past, I don't know if this was the one. All that said, Britney's allowed to do whatever the hell she wants. And she has created a fighting ground of people who are either on her side or not. So what she did over the weekend was respond. Sorry, it's here. She called out Britney. Give me like 5 more minutes and come back because this is going to be boring for you. She called out Britney and Britney called out Christina. I love and adore everyone who has supported me, but refusing to speak when you know the truth is equivalent to a lie. 13 years being in a corrupt, abusive system, yet why is it such a hard topic for people to talk about? I'm the one who went through it. All the supporters who spoke up and supported me, thank you. That's what she said. She posted this footage, and then she posted a follow-up. Thank you, Lady Gaga, for genuinely taking your time to say something so kind. You made me cry. I love you. Now, the clips, I'm sorry, my audio is being wonky here. I thought I could play stuff, but for some reason, it's not letting me. I'm going to try one more thing. What's just really frustrating is... I don't know. Is that... No, that's going to make it worse. Okay. I don't know how to make this better. I'll have to figure this out in a second. I'll have to play it live. I know I got an option I think I can do. What's frustrating here is Britney isn't aware, I guess, because she's, again, hasn't been as active on social media. She played a clip. I'm sorry, this is all so slow. Lesson learned. This is the clip in its entirety. Now, Britney only played a clip that didn't show the publicist prior. So everyone was reacting to this clip without the full context of this clip. And I do think it's important that we, again, keep it real always on this channel. So hopefully, hold on, let's see. I'm going to shut up as we get this because you're going to hear a link. Hold on. It's coming. I don't know. Maybe I can't. Hold on. I have too much open and everything's slowing down. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm closing some things. If I close some windows, maybe it'll work. I'll try and trim this from the show. Close. Bear with me. Sorry, guys. I want you to hear this audio because it's kind of important in this story. Okay. Oh, man. This processor is just dying. It can't handle it. Okay, trying again. Here we go.
Have you guys had any communication?
No. Thank you all so much. We're gonna go
Brittany,
inside.
have you had any communication? Have you guys had any communication?
No, we're not doing that tonight. I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye.
But I'm happy for her.
So important to see there because the publicist prior touched her arm, so she turned around. Because when I first saw the clip that Britney posted, we don't hear the publicist saying, we got to go, we got to go. And then when Christina looks, it's played like it's creating drama. And I'm sure Britney saw it, clipped, and thought Christina was avoiding the question. But when you actually watch the full clip, which is important that you do, in context always matters, guys, the publicist says, we got to go, we got to go. Christina's taking the question, and then he's grabbing her. And that's when he looks.
Have you had any communication? Have you guys had any communication?
No, we're not doing that tonight. I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye.
But I'm happy for her.
But I'm happy for her. Publicist touches the arm. Again, watch that one more time now that I got it all working here. Look at this.
Thank you all so much. We're going to go
Britney,
inside.
have you had any communication? Have you guys had any communication?
No, we're not doing that tonight. I'm sorry. Thank you. Bye.
But I'm happy for her.
That was a reaction of she was frustrated she couldn't talk about it. Because the reality is she has talked about it in great detail. She was one of the only, as I remember it happening, stood up for her in the beginning. Now, I don't know if Britney knew this. Past few days I've been thinking about Britney and everything she's going through. It's unacceptable that any woman or human wanting to be in control of their own destiny might not be allowed to live as they wish. This was on June 28th. To be silenced, ignored, bullied, or deleted, or denied support by those close to you is the most depleting, devastating, and demeaning thing imaginable. This harmful mentality and emotional damage this can take on a human spirit is nothing to be taken lightly. Every woman must have the right to her own body, her own reproductive system, her own privacy, her own space, her own healing, her own happiness. While I'm not behind the closed doors of this very layered and personal yet public conversation, all I can share is from my heart on what I've heard, read, and seen in the media. The conviction and desperation of this plea for freedom leads me to believe that this person I once knew has been living without compassion or decency from those in control. To a woman who has worked under conditions and pressure unimaginable to most, I promise you, she deserves all the freedom possible to live her happiest life. My heart goes out to Britney Spears. Now, that was a pretty beautiful statement, if you ask me. So again, I hope Britney is aware or someone can help her, because this one, to me, doesn't seem like this is a fight that's worth fighting. Now, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I don't know. Christina might have been mean in the past. I've been there. I've come out angry, wanted to call certain people out. But the reality is, she did stay out. She spoke up. When I see that, to me, there's something else there. And then, last thing I want to say, here's how Sam Asghari, her fiance, responded to the question.
What's it been like for you to see her be free after 13 years and you've worked for it so hard?
I'm just excited here for the movie. I can't wait to get inside and see the movie.
Yeah. Well,
Why didn't he talk about it? Why is everyone else to talk about it but not him? Look, I don't want to shade Britney. I love Britney. I got Britney's back till the end. However, this one felt a little misguided, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. However, frustrating. Frustrating because, the reality is this is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because she's been like Captain America, froze in time. And so the reality is, I think she's jumping out to attack Christina because she sees a clip out of context. She doesn't really know. But to me, when I watched that Sam clip after this, knowing that Britney wants Christina to say something and Sam's out there like, I'm just here to talk about, while he's out there on a press, let's be honest, he's out in that press conference. No offense, Sam, because you're Britney's fiance. Like, that's what's happening. And you just ignore the question completely. Look, Christina at least said, I'm happy for her. And Christina also put that really hard, long tweet together that a lot of people weren't saying. So look, I'm always going to stand Britney, but I'm giving her a pass on this because I know she's still out there. She's going to make mistakes, and guess what? She's allowed. She's allowed to make mistakes. But all of us jumping on this fighting, you suck, Britney. You don't. No. She doesn't suck. Christina doesn't suck either. Neither of them suck in this instance, and it was important that I come forward and sort of say, hey, as Switzerland here, they both are amazing, and they're both great women. There's no reason for this drama to happen. Britney's stuck in the past. She doesn't know what's going on. If anybody should have said something, in my opinion, it was Sam, because clearly Britney wants people to say something. Why is Britney out there shading Christina for not saying something? But now Sam's all going to be like, yeah, I'm not talking about it. Sam could have easily said, we're very happy. We're very happy, and I'm excited for her to share. I'm excited for her to tell you about it. But, that's all I want to say right now. But we're very happy. How hard is that? It's amazing. The fans are incredible. I know Britney's happy, but I'll let her speak to that. I'm here to celebrate the movie. I'm so proud of this movie, but you know what I mean? There's a million ways to do it. I'm no pro. I mean, I know he's new to the business, but I still feel it's fishy. I don't want to say it's fishy, but it is weird knowing that Britney wants her to come forward, but then Sam is not allowed to say anything. That to me says, again, speculation warning. That to me says Sam doesn't want to talk about it. And Sam might be like afraid to talk about it because every time he does, people make fun of him and say, "Oh, you're only doing this for this or that." So there we go. Those are the two main stories I wanted to get to. My thoughts. I'm going to go through all your comments and questions in a second, and I'm going to bring my mom's coming in. Woo! So if you guys aren't yet members, what are you waiting for? Hit that join button for me. It's right next to subscribe. Or hit the subscribe button and support Popcorn Planet because, yeah, even on holidays, we try to give you content. So happy to be here on this Monday, breaking down some of the news for you. Sorry for some of the lagginess. Hopefully it worked. I'm going to work on a better system and a better capability soon. Lewis is even like, why aren't you using Melon? Maybe I'll have to. I'll look into something. But I thought this could work. So far, it sort of did. But stay tuned. More coming. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're not done. More shows coming for a little bit. But this is the end of the replay for those of you who didn't catch us live. So make sure you catch us live next time. Otherwise, you'll miss out. Join us next time as the end screen plays. Click on these. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We aren't done yet.